ecstatic pleasure to be here at the lotus feet of Sri Sri Londonisvara and Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani, Sri Sri Gauri Thai Giraj Maharaj, and to be with all the wonderful congregation of Soho Street. After a very, very long time we're here. COVID, we didn't go anywhere, so it's very ecstatic to be here with all of you. And today's very, very special day, the appearance day of Srimati Radharani. So whatever he said was totally false. I'm a very ordinary soul. Somehow the only special thing is just like, you know, when you walk in a room and you flip on the light, all the cockroaches run here and there. Well, somehow or other Prabhupada came and threw on the light, and by chance I ran underneath his lotus feet. That's all.
Wow.
And we heard how Radha and Krishna are very, very merciful. They're Patita Pavan. So, although I'm not qualified to sit here, actually I am qualified, because at least you can see an example of how Radha and Krishna are Patita Pavan. Because here's one Petit, and somehow or other I've become, this is an example of their mercy. Very sinful, lowly soul, lowly born soul, somehow sitting here talking on this beautiful day about Srimati Radharani. So, we'll begin with a very beautiful song that probably you all know, this famous song in Braj, especially in Barsana. Radharani ki jai, Maharani ki jai. 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 Bolo Govinda Mohini ki jai jai jai. Bolo Govinda Mohini ki jai jai jai. Radha Rani ki jai jai Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Ananda Puri Vaishnava ki Jai Sri Rup Sanatana Patragana Sri Ji Gopala Das Ragana Sad Goswami Prabhu ki Nama Acharya Sri Haridas Thakur ki Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Goswami Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhana ki Braj Bhumi Vrindavan Dham ki Follow Sri Sri Krishna Ballava ki Srimati Radharani's appearance day ki Go Prema Glory to the Samadhi Glories to the Samadhi Glories to the Samadhi All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to you, Sri Prabhupada. Om Agyan Timirandana Salakaya Chaksurumilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Vijay Chaturamistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Radhi Swavanam Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Panchakalpasudhyasya kripasindhubhyo Patitanam Bhavebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So for Srimati Radharani, we have a very special verse. I was reminded of this because this morning in the manor, the children did a play about Mukta Charita, the pearl story. It was written by Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. In there he has a very beautiful verse glorifying Srimati Radharani. Gorim Raktabara Ramyam Sunetra Susmitananam Shamam Sadistam Sadikam Radhikam Masay Sada. I think Raghunath Das Goswami looked into the future and he saw that in Raman Reti Vrindavan, Prabhupada would establish this beautiful Krishna Balaram temple with beautiful Radhasham Sundar, and seeing our Srimati Radharani, he wrote this verse. First of all, he says, Gauri Raktavara Ramyam. She's very gold in complexion. And Raktabaram, she's wearing reddish garments. Gauri Raktavara Ramyam Sunetra. That is nature. We know nature means eyes. She's got Sunetra. You go to Vrindavan and see our Radharani's eyes. They're so sweet. Sunetra. Susmitananam. Smita we know is a very nice smile, but here he says, Smita. Smita is that smile where the lips are just about to break and the teeth are about to show. So our Radharani, she has such a sweet smile like that. Sunetra, Susmitananam. Shamam, she's very, very simple. But Swabhistam Sadikam, she knows how to get her desire. She's very simple, but she knows Swabhistam Sadikam, how to get her desire. Radhikam Masrayet Sada, I take shelter of that Srimati Radharani. So first of all, we'll talk about how everybody thinks that Radhastami is the big festival. We were here many years ago at the manor and we saw huge crowds. That year there was like 1,400 volunteers just for running the show. But actually there's a verse in the 10th canto, 5th chapter, text number 18. And you have to hear this purport very closely. Tata Arabhya Nandasya Braja Sarva Samriddhiman Harer Nivasatma Gunai Rama Kridam Abunripa. O Maharaj Parikshit, the home of Nanda Maharaj is eternally the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His transcendental qualities, and is therefore always naturally endowed with the opulence of all wealth. Yet, beginning from Lord Krishna's appearance there, it became the place for the pastimes of the goddess of fortune. Now listen to Prabhupada's purport. As stated in the Brahma Samhita 529, Lakshmi Sahasra Sata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Samaham Bhajami. The abode of Krishna is always served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. Wherever Krishna goes, the goddess of fortune actually resides with him. The chief of the goddesses of fortune is Srimati Radharani. Therefore, listen, therefore, Krishna's appearance in the land of Vraj indicated that the chief goddess of fortune, Srimati Radharani, would appear there very soon. You understand what he's saying? Jamashtami, that's just the trailer. He says Jamashtami indicates that Radhastami is coming. So the real festival is Radhastami. And Srimati Radharani, she's not ordinary person, not ordinary girl. She's very, very special. And Chaitanya Charitamrita has so many special verses just to get us to understand who Srimati Radharani is. Radhika Hayena Krishnera Pranaya Vikara Swarupa Shakti Ladini Nama Yahara. Srimati Radhika is the transformation of Krishna's love. She is his internal energy known as Ladini Shakti. Mahabhava Swarupa Sri Radha Thakurani. Nice verses. Sarva Gunakani Krishna Kanta Shirumani. You can find all these verses in Chaitanya Charitamrita and Adi. Sri Radha Thakurani is the embodiment of Mahabhava. She is a repository of all good qualities. Sarva Gunakani, Kani means mind. She's a mind of all good qualities. And the crest jewel, Sarvakanta Shiromani, the crest jewel amongst all the lovely consorts of Lord Krishna. Tayorapi ubayor madhye radhika sarvadhika mahabhava surupeyam gunar ati varishyasi. Of these two gopis, Chandravali and Radharani, Srimati Radharani is superior in all respects. She is the embodiment of Mahabhava, and she surpasses all in good qualities. Govinda Nandini Radha Govinda Mohani Govinda Sarvasva Sarvakanta Shiromani. Radha is the one who gives pleasure to Govinda, and she is also the enchantress of Govinda. She is the be-all and end-all of Govinda and the crest jewel of all his consorts. This is a very nice verse. Chaitanya Charitamrita goes on many, many verses, just breaking down this verse. Devi Krishna Mahi Prokta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mahi Sarva Kanti Sanmohani Para. The transcendental goddess Srimati Radharani is a direct counterpart of Lord Sri Krishna. She is the central figure for all the goddesses of fortune. She possesses all attractiveness to attract the all-attractive personality of Godhead. She is the primeval internal potency of the Lord. So then Chaitanya Charitamrita goes on explaining, Devi means resplendent and most beautiful, or else it means the lovely abode of the worship and love sports of Sri Krishna. Krishnamai means one who's within and without our Lord Krishna. She sees Lord Krishna wherever she looks, wherever she casts her glance. Or Krishnamai means that she is identical with Lord Krishna, for she embodies the mellows of love. The energy of the Lord is identical with him. Krishnamai has two imports. First, a person who always thinks of Krishna both within and without, and who always remembers only Krishna, wherever he goes or whatever he sees, is called Krishnamai. Also, since Krishna's personality is full of love, his loving potency, Radharani, being non-different from him, is also called Krishna Mayi. Her worship, Aradhana, this is where Radha's name comes, Aradhana. Her worship consists of fulfilling the desires of Lord Krishna. Therefore, the Puranas call her Radhika. And then sometimes people ask, well, Radha's name is not there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Here it is in a secret form. Anya Radhito Nunam Bhagavan Hare Ishvara Yanno Vihaya Govinda Prito Yam Anayadraha. This is in 10th canto. Truly the personality of Godhead has been worshipped by her. Anya Aradhita. That's where Radha comes out. Aradhana, worship. So truly the personality of Godhead has been worshipped by her. Therefore Lord Govinda, being pleased, has brought her to a lonely spot, leaving us all behind. Therefore Radha is Parama Devata, the supreme goddess. She is worshipable for everyone. She is the protectress of all, and she is the mother of the entire universe. Radha is the original source of all the goddesses of fortune. Or Sarva-Lakshmi indicates that she fully represents the 6 opulences of Krishna. All the desires of Lord, and she fulfills all the desires of Lord Krishna. This is the meaning of Sarva Kanti. Lord Krishna enchants the world, but Sri Radha enchants even him. Therefore she is the supreme goddess of all. Radha Purna Shakti, Krishna Purna Shakti Man. Dui Vastu Nahi, Dui Vastu Veda Nahi, Shastra Praman. Sri Radha is the full power, and Krishna is the possessor of full power. The two are not different, as evidenced by the revealed scripture. So we're not talking about ordinary person, but the supreme Ladini Shakti of Lord Krishna.
Thank you so much.
So today is Radhastami, the holy appearance day of Srimati Radhika. So, to understand Srimati Radharani's appearance, we have to go back many thousands of years. There was a very, very beautiful princess named Kalavati. And a very handsome prince named Sucharu. And their parents, seeing their matching qualities, arranged their wedding. Badi Dhum-Dham Kisa, with great pomp and ceremony. They performed their wedding. Now, most amazing, after their wedding, they went to the forest and were sleeping on dry leaves and dry grass and eating only berries that monkeys eat. Now this was most astonishing. Because after we get married, we think, oh, now I get to sleep on a nice, soft bed. No more mats in the ashram. No more temple prasad. Now puri and paneer sabji and halva and sweet rice every day. But they were sleeping on dry leaves. Prince and princess, eating only berries that monkeys eat. And they performed these austerities for many hundreds of years. Finally, Lord Brahma descended on his swan airplane. And he asked them what it was that they desired. And they told him, we want to get Lakshmiji, the consort of Lord Krishna, as our daughter in order to render service to her. And Brahma was so surprised. Generally, after we do our austerity, when it comes time for the benediction, then we want this and this and this and this. We big long list, this. And 90 days credit for the next austerity. We want this and this and this. Give me a job and a car and a house by the sea, Swami Jai Jagadish. But they were asking for service. So Brahma was so satisfied, he said, wow, 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 not only the goddess of fortune, we will give you the Mahalakshmi, Srimati Radhika, the consort of Brajendra Nanda and Sham Sundar. She will become your daughter. So next lifetime, they appeared as Kirtida and Vrishabhanu. And again, their parents arranged their wedding together. And Vrishabhanu, he was a good friend of Nanda Baba, so he made his capital just nearby Gokul, in a very beautiful place called Raval. They used to be right on the bank of the Jamuna. Now we saw, this year there was nice flood, so we saw Jamuna came all the way. Otherwise, we go on top of the temple roof, we look way across the fields and we see Jamuna. But she was flowing just beside the temple. And mysteriously, Vrishabhanu and Kirtida, they were always had this intense desire that we wish to have a daughter. But no daughter came. They had a son named Sridham. Sridham's the older brother of Srimati Radharani. But still, they were always desiring to have this girl. And many days went by. One day, it was the 8th day of the bright half of the month of Bhadra. Because now we're in this month. This is the 8th day of the bright half of the month of Bhadra. In fact, this Bhadra month is so auspicious. Purnima is coming. If you gift a set of Bhagavatams on Purnima, it's very, very special. I don't know if Dinanath Gauranga has his crew here to take your orders to sponsor in Africa or sponsor them for India or take them for UK or whatever you want to do. But this is auspicious month for this, especially Bhadra Purnima. So it was 8th day, the dark half of the month, bright half of the month of Bhadra. So just like every day, like all of us, before Mangalarti, we go to take our bath. So he went down to the Jamuna to take his bath. As he approached the bank of the Jamuna, he saw something was shiny in the water. As he got closer, he saw it was a golden, beautiful lotus flower, 1,000-petal lotus flower. As he got even closer, he saw in the golden whirl, the corolla of that lotus flower, there was a beautiful baby golden girl. But we said Bhadra means the second month of rainy season. The current of Jamuna was very heavy. He couldn't reach to that lotus flower. Then Lord Brahma, he again and reminded Vrishabhanu of his previous benediction. And he took that child and put it in the arms of Vrishabhanu. Vrishabhanu, he ran to the palace. Oh Devi, oh Devi, oh Devi, we have our daughter, we have our daughter. And Kirtida Maharani came running. She saw this beautiful golden baby girl in Vrishabhanu's arm. She just took her from him and held her very close to her chest. And she could feel, oh, she's so soft like butter. And so beautiful golden complexion. And tiny little fingers and tiny little toes. And so beautiful markings on her hands and on her feet. Everything was exquisitely beautiful, except her eyes were sealed. She was totally blind. Now to understand this blindness, we're going to have to go all the way up to the Golok. One day in Golok, if we can talk about days in eternal time. Krishna Chandra, he told Radharani, hey Radhe, on the earth, Dwapara Yuga is coming to an end. It's time for us to go and display our pastimes on the earth. Radharani said, I don't want to go to that deep, dark, nasty material where no one is chanting your name, no one is chanting your glories. No one is doing your seva. Everybody's absorbed in sense gratification and sinful life. And what? There's no Vrindavan, there's no Jamuna, there's no Giriraj. Mohammed man nahi lagti. My heart will not be happy in such a place. And Krishna Chandra said, hey Radhe, just see. Vrindavan has already gone. Jamuna has already gone. And Giriraj is already gone. And Radharani looked, and on the face of that dark, deep material world, there was this golden Braj Bandhu, shining, and cutting through just like a blue ribbon was this Jamuna river. And standing very tall and proud was Giriraj. So Radharani told Krishna Chandra, all right, I will go there, but I don't want to see anyone or anything until I can see your Mukha Chandra, your moonlight face. So Radharani's eyes were sealed shut. But Vrishabhanu and Kirtana, they thought, it doesn't matter, she's so beautiful, at least we got our daughter. Blind daughter better than no daughter. Meanwhile, Narada Muni was wandering here and there, and he just got his i15 iPhone. He had it loaded up with his astrology program, and he was calculating that this is a time and this is a place where that Ladini Shakti of Lord Krishna will appear. So he began to wonder here and there. He said, somewhere near here she has appeared. And he came to the palace of Vrishabhanu. He knocked on the door. The doorman opened the door. He saw it was Narada Muni. He ran to Vrishabhanu. He said, Narada Muni is here. And Vrishabhanu, the king, he personally came to the door to receive Narada Muni. Oh, Munivar, Padariye, please come. Oh Munivar, Viraje, he sat him on his own throne, please. Then he washed Narada Muni's feet. He sprinkled the water on his head and on everyone else's head. Then the king sat at the foot of his own throne and said, Muniraj, you have any seva for me? You have any service for me? And Narada Muni said, yes. Do you have any issue? Do you have any child? And Vrishabhanu said, yes, I have one son. And Muni said, one son? Ha Maharaj, I have one son. One son? Ha Maharaj, I have one son. One son? Ha Maharaj. All right, you bring him. So they brought Sridham before Narada Muni. And Narada Muni gave him all his blessings, and he told Vrishabhanu, you have to take very special care, because he's a very close associate of Sri Krishna, very dear friend of Sri Krishna. Then Narada Muni got up to leave. As he got to the door, Vrishabhanu noticed some dissatisfaction in Narada Muni's face. Prabhupada said, face is index of the mind. And he said, Taro Maharaj, Taro, wait. Kya? Tune jhoot bola? You told a lie? Arey Maharaj, I have one daughter, but she's blind, so I was ashamed to show her to. You have one daughter? Oh no, you bring that one. He ran back, sat down on the throne. No, bring that one. So they brought Srimati Radharani before Narada Muni. Now Narada Muni, he knows. We just heard from Chaitanya Charitamrita who this is. He was just diving and swimming in the ocean of ecstasy. He just went into trance for a long time. Finally he came out and he said, I know how to cure this blindness. And Narada Muni is very clever. He said, you have to make a feast, and you have to make this and this and this and this and this and this and this, all complicated preparations that you will not find the ingredients around the house. You will have to go to the bazaar, you will have to go to the field, you'll have to go to the market to collect all these ingredients. And he said, then you invite Nanda and Yasoda, and you feed them, and this blindness will be cured. So everybody looked at this big long list. They said, this thing is not in the house. Huh? So Narad Muni is very clever, right? Everybody ran off to the field, to the market, to the bazaar, to collect all these things. So now Narad Muni is alone with Srimati Radharani. And he began to offer so many beautiful stutis to her, playing on his veena. And Radharani smiled and said, what is it that you wish? And Narad Muni said, I wish to see that Kishori Rup, that 13, 14-year-old form of yours. And Radharani, before Narad Muni's eyes, she manifested this Kishori Rup. All the Astasakis also appeared in their Kishori Rups. And Narad Muni, he was just drowning in the ocean of ecstasy. Ah ha ha. Ah ha ha ha. And he paid his obeisances, and then playing on his veena, he went on his way. Radhika Raman, 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 Radhika Raman. Meanwhile, they collected all the ingredients, they got the cook, and they started cooking. They sent messenger to call Yasoda and Nanda Maharaj. So Nanda and Yasoda appeared, and Krishna was under Yasoda's arm. Now he was born on the dark Astami, Krishna Pakshas, Krishnastami day, dark Astami day of the same month of Bhadra, but 1 year before. So Mother Yasoda brought him under her arm, and then they set him down and they went to see Radharani, and they said, oh, she's so beautiful. They saw she's so beautiful, golden complexion, and she's so soft like butter, and so sweet and so exquisite, beautiful markings in her hands and feet. If she's blind, doesn't matter, she's just so beautiful. So then, Kirtida and Yasoda, they sat down to do their gossipings. And Nanda Baba and Vrishabhanu, they sat down to do their talkings. So Krishna, he was 1 year old, so he was crawling here and there, and he saw this very interesting basket with a beautiful black blanket we call Kali Kamri coming out of the end of the basket. So he crawled over and he grabbed onto the edge of that basket and he looked inside to see what's there. Now you've seen how Mother Yasoda paints all these beautiful gopidas with chandan, sandalwood, and keshar, what do you say, saffron, and kapoor, camphor, guru, all these wonderful paintings on Krishna's face. That divine fragrance entered into the sesame flower-like nose of Srimati Radhika. Our Goswamis in their literature, many times they describe Radharani's nose just as beautiful as a sesame flower. Now 1 year in Braj Vikama, because in Kartik the sesame flowers bloom, we were going through the sesame field, and I began to look at the flowers, and they're hanging there on the bush, and one petal comes down like this and goes, just sort of turns up at the end, and 2 other petals come down, just like a nose, and they understood this simile. Oh, so sweet. So in Radharani's sesame flower-like nose, this divine fragrance, now she knows Krishna's face is just in front of her face. Now our Prabodhanand Saraswati, he writes so beautifully. He says Radharani, she gives Krishna a little kataksh, because her elders are there, the people who criticize her are there, so she can't look straight. She gives a little sidelong glance. But from that kataksh, Krishna's flute slips from his hand, his mukut falls from his head, his chadar slips off his shoulders, and he doesn't even notice. That's just from a little sidelong glance. Now you try to understand. Radha and Krishna are amni-samni, face to face. Huh? So Radharani opened her beautiful lotus petal eyes, and she stared with so much love into the beautiful lotus eyes of Krishna. And so much love was going between those eyes, so much love was going between those eyes, so much love was going between those eyes, it's so thick you can put your finger in and taste it. And both of them began to laugh. And as soon as the children began to laugh, the parents' minds were distracted. And they looked, and Radharani's beautiful lotus petal eyes were staring with so much love into the beautiful lotus petal eyes of Radharani. And everyone thought, just see, this Narad Muni is so clever. Somehow he cured this blindness. So Nanda Baba had come for lunch, so this is about noontime. So what time do we have to fast to on Radhastami? You fasted too. Shastra says 12. Midday fast. But Radharani, she's very sweet and soft, you know. That Krishna Chandra, he's very hard fellow. All the way to the midnight. But Radharani's very soft and sweet. Only up to the midday we have to fast. So this very sweet place, Raval, is the place where Radharani appeared. And I can recall when I first came to Braj, there wasn't even a pucka road to go there. It was just a dirt road. And I went there a couple of times for Radhastami, and they had their Abhishek somewhere around 6 or 7 in the morning. In those days, only maybe 3 buses were there, 4 or 5 cars were there. Everybody sat down peacefully, and they sang old Brishvasi songs and did the Abhishek of Sri Ladli Lal. These are called Ladli Lal. It was very sweet. Now they call so many artists and have big festivals. Big festival there. Also, one time I wanted to see, because a really big festival is in Barsana. The Barsana is not the appearance place, it's the borning place of Radharani. It's a living place of Radharani. Babel is a borning place. Huge festivals there. One time I came back from traveling Sankirtan and I wanted to go, and it was day before Radhastami. And I was trying to find somebody to go to who was going. And everybody's saying, we'll go tomorrow. I said, no, you have to go tonight. If you don't go tonight, they'll lock the door and you won't get in. I'd given up hope, and then I ran into my old friend Senan from Singapore. He was also looking for someone. He had rented a car to go to Barsana. I said, come on, let's go. So we went there, and we saw how to celebrate Radhastami. First of all, they had a beautiful, night before, beautiful Phool Bangla, flower palace. In Vrindavan, they're very expert making these palaces of flowers. And then, after the Shayan Arti, everybody dances and chants the whole night. They dance and chant their hearts out the whole night. This is how to celebrate Radhastami. In fact, they close off the Darshan Mandap because they're going to bring Radha and Krishna outside, so that's off. But in the courtyard, the huge courtyard, there's 5 kirtan parties going. Sometimes one of them becomes prominent, everybody sort of gravitates there, then the one in the middle becomes prominent, then over here, then over there, like that. All night long just chanting. Jane and I were a little tired. We went up on the roof and went to sleep. And we knew that sometime early in the morning they would do the Abhishek. About 4 o'clock, we came down this secret little stairway. I knew how to get up to the roof. We came down, but it was packed. And at midnight they'd already locked the door so nobody else could come in. So we were right on the edge of the crowd. And all the Barsana Brahmins came and they sat down right in front of the altar. And they had this big Hindi songbook with big Hindi letters this big. They're singing all these ancient Radhastami songs. They're facing each other and singing back and forth. Then around 4:30 or so, the curtains began to rustle. And everybody leapt to their feet. And somehow we were way on the edge, but the crowd just pulled us right in front of Srimati Radharani. And then they opened the curtain and the crowd went wild. And we were going 10 feet over here and 7 feet this way, and our feet were never touching the ground. And I've been in Vrindavan for a while, so I knew this is just the way it is. You know, I was laughing, having a good time. Sainin, he was about 65 years old. He was having a heart attack. Then he saw me laughing. Then he realized that's just the way it is. So somehow the crowd just kept us right in front of, just back and forth in front of Srimati Radharani for the whole Abhishek. Then after the Abhishek, they unlocked the door and everybody came through and they distributed Charnamrit. The darshan was closed as they're dressing and everything. So next year I took a whole bus load of devotees and we had our ISKCON Kirtan party there all night dancing and chanting. Now it's too crowded. I don't know if it's too crowded. But those days was very sweet. So we have to what time?
I guess 15 more minutes.
15 more minutes. So we'll tell a nice pastime. As you may or may not know, that Radharani, every morning she cooks for Krishna. She comes to Nandagam, either from Javat or from Barsana. She comes and cooks for Krishna. Because what happened, one time in Barsana, Durvas Rishi came. And you all know Durvas Rishi, right? He's very famous for being angry. So this Rishi came with big jata on top of his head, his beard tied in a knot, very fierce look on his face, holding his stick for putting, chanting his japa. And all the gopikas, they saw this Durvas Rishi, they all fled away. Except for Srimati Radhika. She said, Baba Beto, sit down, Baba. Then she made a little clay kitchen. And she made clay pots and pans, and she made clay puris and clay sabji and clay laddus and everything made out of clay. This was her little clay kitchen. Just like I know my sisters, when they were young, my father used to go to Mattel and buy the little play kitchen for them. So this is Radharani's clay kitchen. Then she made a clay thali. She made little clay katoris and she put everything on the plate, some flowers and a glass of water. And she brought it to Durvasri. She said, "Lo Baba, take Baba, lo Baba." And Durvasri said, "Take it, Dali, it's all right. Lo Baba, take it, lo Baba." So then Jabardasti, by force, she took one of those clay laddus and just pushed it into Durvasri's mouth. He never tasted a laddu so sweet in his whole life. And he gave blessing right from the heart. Because that blessing from the heart is very, very powerful. Yes, I have lived in India for 40 years now. I've seen all the children early in the morning. The Indian children, they're very clever. I hope you're still doing here in this far off place. They come in the morning, they touch the feet of their daddy dada and nana nani and mata pita and chacha chachi. And the elders, they feel so happy in the heart. And they give them blessing. Whole rest of the day they're going to drive them nuts. But in the morning they feel so happy and they give Aishman Baba, you live a long life. So these Indian children are very clever. They get this blessing from the heart. So Duras Rishi, right from his heart, he gave blessing. Ali Lali, whatever you cook will just be just as sweet as nectar. But whoever tastes your cooking will never get any disease. He gave this blessing to Srimati Radharani. Now when the Brishvasis heard this, because we see one funny thing in Braj, because we all like children. There's always one crank who doesn't, but anyway, generally, we love children. But we love our own child more than others' child. Natural. But in Braj, everyone loves Nandalala more than their own child. And when they heard that whoever eats Radharani's cooking will never get any disease, then they insisted that Radharani cook for Krishna. Then he won't get COVID, he'll live for a long time. Because the parents are always worried the children are going to get sick. Just like, I remember first time I came to India 50 years ago, my mother said, no, don't go there, so much disease, you're going to get sick and die. Now it's the other way around. You want to go to America? You're going to get shot. So the Brishvasis insisted that Radharani has to come and cook for Krishna. So, how many people have seen Pavan Sarovar in Nandagam? Big lake, Pavan Sarovar. Beautiful anyway. So, in Pavan Sarovar, once place, there's a little, I don't know what else to call it, a little pier that goes out of the water, and there's a well in the center. That well used to have very, very sweet water. And on that platform, Srimati Radharani used to cook for Krishna. And there would be 50 ovens burning bright. And the Gopikas have come earlier and cut up everything and got everything ready. And Radharani sits in the middle of 50 ovens cooking for her beloved. And she's so happy to be in the town of her beloved that not even a single bead of perspiration comes out of her. 50 ovens, not a single bead. When she's in Javat, the Gopikas, they make a bed with nice lotus petals, they put chandan and everything on it, and Radharani lies down, just pulverizes. She's burning so much that even chandan, which is cooling, feels. And now in front of 50 ovens, not a bead of perspiration comes on her. And then there's a room where Mother Yasoda sits Krishna and all his friends down and they feed him breakfast. Mother Rohini and Yasoda. And Mother Yasoda is assisted by Denista, her little servant girl, who is very, very clever to get some chewed remnant off of Krishna's plate inside in the end of her shawl to give to Radharani later. So one day Radharani made Manohar letters. You can understand, Man means a heart, and Har means to steal. So heart enchanting letters. Manohar letters. So Radharani, she wanted to see how Krishna will like her lotus. She was watching from the window. And Krishna Chandra, he saw from the corner of his eyes Radharani speaking. And he saw on his plate so many Manohar laddus. So he picked up one of those laddus, he popped it in his mouth, and he made a horrible face. You ever taste neem? Like that he made. And Radharani was so frightened. Then Krishna, he pushed all his laddus over onto Sri Ram's plate. And Sri Ram saw all of Lala's laddus come on my plate. He began to eat them. Bing, bing, bing. Then Radharani knows, oh, this rascal, he's just teasing. So these are the wonderful, some of the wonderful. We were thinking of another pastime the other day, because there's sometimes on the way to Nandagam, there's a village called Kosi. Now in Sanskrit, who is there is Ka Asi. But then it combines by Sandhya, becomes Kosi. The A drops down, a little apostrophe comes, and the O comes in its place, and Kosi. So one night, Krishna Chandra came, and he was throwing little pebbles at the window and making funny noises, you know. So Radharani came to the window, and she said, Kosi, who's there? Huh? And Krishna said, it's me, Hari. And Radharani took the meaning of Hari as lion. Just like we were just saying, Jayanara Hari, Jayanara man, and Hari, lion. And Radharani said, Mr. Lion, you've come here? We don't want to see you. We're afraid of you. You please go away. We don't want to see you around here. No, it's me. Kosi, who's there? It's me, Sri Hari. Monkey, you steal all our glasses and ruin our cloth when we hang it out, and you steal all our food and everything. We don't want to, now it's dark. You go home and sleep with all your monkey friends. We don't want to see the monkeys around. No. It's me. Huh? Kosi, who's there? It's me, Madhav. Madhav? Huh? Now it's the dead of winter. This month of Chaitra in the springtime is sometimes called Madhav. How can springtime come in the winter? We don't know who you are. You better go away. We don't want to see you. No, it's me. Kosi, who's there? It's me, Madhusudan. Black bumblebee, you come to sting us with your stinger. We don't want to see you. Please go away. No, it's me, Kosi, who's there? Me, Sham Sundar. Black cloud. Now the mothers have just put on the fires to heat the milk to put their babies to rest. If the babies go to bed, now if you rain, the fires will go out, the babies won't get their milk, they'll cry all night and keep everyone awake. You go to some agricultural field or someplace where they need rain, not here. No, it's me. What is it? Chakri. Huh? Who holds a chakra. There's another person who has a chakra that we used to see. Now they invented plastic, and so you hardly see them anymore. They spin around and make the little clay cups, clay pots with this big chakra. So he's called Chakri. So Radharani, and especially when there's a wedding, because now a new chapter of life is opening up, everything has to be cooked in new pots. So you call the Chakri to make all the new pots. So Radharani said, you won't get any business here. There's no wedding in our village today. You go to some other village. So, no, it's me. Kosi, who's there? It's me, Krishna. Black snake. You come to bite us with your fangs. No, we're very much afraid of you. Please go away. In this way, whatever name Krishna gives, Radharani cuts it to pieces and makes fun. In this way, the divine couple enjoy their daily pastimes. Hare Krishna. Srimati Radharani ki Jai. Most dear devotee of Radharani, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. As we know, Prabhupada is the most dear devotee of Radharani because his father would always feed sadhus, and then he asked those sadhus, "You please bless my son that he become very nice devotee of Srimati Radharani." So anyway, we'll put our voice to rest here. But we have with us our book, Brajlila Part 2. We just printed it. We just went through it and revised it and expanded it and improved it. So we haven't brought them anywhere because we just printed it and jumped on the plane. So, and this is the last pastime. This is Part 2. So this is the end of the Prikram, where Raval is the very end of the Prikram. So that pastime is there. Kosi is also there. And anyway, it's transcriptions of my lectures, so it's not formal writing, but the way I talk, that's the way the book is. So if anybody wants a copy, we have Radhastami special. It's only £10 donation today. And so we'll...
Outside there is a table?
It's outside, we'll make a little table.
No, already it's there.
Already there, okay. And anybody who wants, and I'm here to
Bring
sign
the
it
mic
for
closer.
you. So I'm here to sign it if you want me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. And you all please come to Vrindavan.
You can still have 10 minutes. You want to say Kutum Sarva last time? He says 50. It's 40. Just have 10 minutes.
Okay.
One more.
Well, I was thinking, because I was seeing our lake today and I was seeing one of the cakes. They made so beautiful cakes in the matter today for Srimati Radharani. And one of them, I couldn't see very clearly, but it looked like the boating pastimes of Radharani. It was right in the middle of Govardhan. There's a lake called Manasi Ganga. And 5,000 years ago, it actually used to be a flowing river. So Radharani and her Sakhis would come with their pots of butter, milk, and yogurt and ghee. And they want to get across to the other side. So Radharani told them to go find some boatmen. So the Sakhis went up and down the bank, and they saw one old boatman there with his blanket, cutter. Boatman, huh? He said, "Please take us across the lake." And boatman said, "Look, you girls are too many, your cargo is too heavy. You please find somebody else, I'm sleeping." But boatman, we've looked everywhere, there's no one around. Well, let me ask my boat if you'll go. I said, "We never heard of a talking boat." He said, "No, I have to ask my boat." So he says, "I have to wash the feet of one of you and sprinkle that water on him, then he'll go." And I said, "Which one?" He said, "That one who's the daughter of Brisabhadra Nandini." And Radharani said, "No way." He said, "Then I'm going back to sleep." So Radharani said, all right. So the boatman, he washed Radharani's feet, he sprinkled the water on his head, on his boat, on the shore, everyone. And all that Radharani, all the gopis got in his boat. And he began to row. All of a sudden, the wind began to blow, waves came, the boat was rocking back and forth. And our boatman, he pulled out the cork in the bottom of the boat. And water started coming inside the boat. And Radharani told Lalita Sakhi, "Go tell this boatman to please save us." So Lalita went there. He said, boatman, please save us." He said, "I told you from the beginning, you girls are too many, your cargo is too heavy, my boat is very old and leaky. If you don't throw all this buttermilk and yogurt overboard, we're all going to drown." So they threw all their buttermilk and yogurt and ghee. Still boat was rocking, waves were coming, wind was coming, water was coming. Again, Radharani sent Lalita. He said, please tell this boatman to save us. He said, boatman, please save us. I told you from the beginning, you girls are too many. My boat is very old. And besides, you're wearing such heavy jewelry. If you don't throw all these diamonds and rubies and pearls and gold and silver overboard, we're all going to drown. So the gopis threw all their bangles and necklaces and earrings and nose pins, everything overboard. And still boat is rocking, and our boatman is rowing in a funny way also. And water's coming. And Radharani said, Lalita again went and said, and boatman said, look, I told you my boat is old and leaky, and you girls are too many, and besides, you're all wearing such heavy saris. If you don't throw all these saris overboard, we're going to drown. And Lalita Saki said, we got a better idea. We're going to throw you Then Radharani came and she just hung herself like a necklace around our boatman and begged him to please, boatman, please don't make us do this. Please save us. Now our boatman, he's got his desire. Radharani's hanging around his neck. Plus, she can feel under his chadar something hard. So she reached under the chadar and she pulled out Krishna's flute. Then they unmasked our boatman, and the wind stopped, the rain stopped, the waves stopped. He put the cork back, and then they began to have wonderful boating Well, we'll tell how Manasi Ganga came. Because one time, Krishna killed a demon named Vatsasur. So Vatsa means? Calf. So then he wanted to play with all his friends again. They said, no, you did a big pop. You know pop? Coca-Cola, 7-Up. No, pop means sin. You killed the calf. And so Krishna said, so what do we have to do to get free from this pop? And all the cowherd boys, they consulted one another. Said, you will have to take bath in Ganga. And Krishna said, Are, Ganga is very far away from here. How can I be away from you boys for so long? I will call Ganga here by my meditation and take my bath. So Krishna sat in meditation, and by his mind, manasa means the mind, he called Ganga to that place. And he took his bath, and then the cowherd boys would play with him. So because that Ganga was created by Krishna's mind, manasa, it became known as Manasi Ganga. And it's described that it's at least 100 times more purifying than that other Ganga. And most of the water in Braj is salty, but that Manasi Ganga, the water is very sweet. So this is how Manasi Ganga appears. Hare Krishna. So we'll put our voice to rest here. We thank you very much for listening. Hare Krishna.
If somebody wants the book, it's outside the table. So you can get it signed from Deena Bandhu Prabhu. And today's Radhastami special price is £10.
We're on the other side of the pond.
His Grace, Deena Bandhu Prabhu Ki! Thank you very much, Prabhu, for giving such a wonderful class, sharing all those pastimes with us. Very much appreciated. Okay, so yes, like Prabhu said, His Grace Deena Bandhu will be outside here with his book. Please take the opportunity to take his association, to take one of his books, to read more about the pastimes of Vrindavan. And in here, in the temple room, in 10 minutes, we will observe Vishayan Arti Kirtan. And if I'm correct, we will also have Shrimati Radharani's Paduka. I'm saying it right? Paduka? Yeah. Like a shoes. Chapel. Yeah. So we will be, if you like, we will. Oh yeah. Yeah. So we will like during the darshan we will place those on your head. You can get the blessings of Radharani's lotus feet, and we will also be distributing Mahaprasadam as well. And of course we will have kirtan for her pleasure. So Ratnabhushan Prabhu. Ratnabhushan. Can someone just get Ratnabhushan? Yeah. Haribol Prabhu. Just want to check, do I need to make any announcements about how darshan will work, etc.? Clear the darshan area? Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Very good. Okay.
Ratnabhushan Prabhu, books. Somebody's there? Okay.
This area where the pillars are, if you could please clear this area, okay? There's going to be a darshan. Yeah, if everyone can please stand.